Alright, so Mission Impossible The Final Reckoning. So it is a direct sequel to Dead Reckoning Part 1 from 2023, and it pretty much picks up right after the events of the last movie. So we have Tom Cruise, Hayley Atwell, Ving Rhames, Simon Pegg, most of them returning, and it starts pretty slow if you ask me. Ethan receives a message and he starts going on about the mission. So if you have seen the previous one, it will quickly give you a recap. There are short snippets in between where it quickly mentions what happened in the last movie. So even new viewers will not be left out very much, but definitely if you have seen previous, especially Mission Impossible 1 and 3, I think you will be surprised how many callbacks are there to those movies, especially 1 and 3. So let's go through the cast. So overall, I think the movie acting was not very good. Tom Cruise is clearly too old, and it's just a blessing that he's still doing this at this age. But I think it is time for him to stop taking these action roles because clearly he doesn't look the part anymore. And Hayley Atwell acting is too bad. Her acting is horrendous. Her accent is terrible. I know two reasons why she is in the movie, and you know that as well. I think the best acting was from Ving Rhames as Luther. I think the only one whom I could find some good acting was with Ving Rhames as Luther. Simon Pegg as Benji is annoying, and I don't think he's a very good character overall. And he breaks up the tension. There's some jokes towards the end that just doesn't land at all. I'm not a big fan of Benji. These are new characters that were added to the series. I'm not a huge fan. I'm not a huge fan of most of the movies that came after for Ghost Protocol. Most of the Christopher McQuarrie movies just feels too generic. I appreciate the action sequences and those are fun to look at, but something about those first two movies and to a extent the third movie was just way too special. Mission Impossible 4 was fine, but then towards the end it just becomes too cringy for my taste. Those first two movies were too special. There is no doubt about that, especially the first movies. Now, selfishly, I just like the second movie too much, just because of its style, and it's a John Woo movie. I just love that second movie. I just love the action. I love Tom Cruise's long hair. I love the introduction scene on the cliffs. The second movie had such a good cast of characters and memorable ones, especially great action sequences directed by John Woo. So it holds a special place in my heart. And of course, the first movie is equally one of my favorite movies. The third one was fine. I love the villain character. The interrogation scene was especially good. I love the villain that Philip Seymour Hoffman played. It was great. Those scenes with him was great. As he's just a great actor, Philip Seymour Hoffman. Now coming to my most hated character, it is Angela Bassett as the President of United States. Now this I need to talk about. There is I'm 100% sure that the makers of this movie, the Hollywood elite idiots, they thought Kamala Harris would be the President of the United States. It was guaranteed. There was no doubt. when this movie was made during last year, they were high above their heads that Kamala Harris would be the president. That's why you got movies like G20 and now this stupid thing. Angela Bassett as Erica Sloan, she was previously CIA director. Now she is the president of the United States. So this movie was clearly made thinking Kamala Harris would win the presidency. Overall, this movie was quite boring. I think few of the standouts were the stunts, especially the plane, two plane stunts, the yellow and red plane, and the underwater sequences inside the submarine. Uh, those two were the ones that stood out to me. Other than that, it was pretty much very boring. The acting doesn't do any justice for the story. Whatever story is there, that is spread way too thin. The story is so thin that even a chat GPT could have written this. So the story is bad, it's cliche, it's contrived. There are way too many coincidences that happen. Like, I don't understand how Ethan Hunt can remove his some Max 7 suit from submarine level depths and not get killed by the pressure. It doesn't make any sense. There are many such scenes where there are too many coincidences happening in favor of Ethan Hunt and just doesn't feel right. In these later movies, it just goes way too crazy, man. I just can't believe what you are seeing. At least the first few movies showed that it is possible and made you believe it is possible. These few last movies, it just doesn't work for me. I mean, it's just a showcase for the stunts, for the incredible stunts that Tom Cruise is doing. Other than that, the story, characters, everything is secondary. And everything is way too convenient in this movie. So if you don't like that, you will hate this movie. Everything happens way too conveniently. Everything falls into line like this was written in a writer's room. So all these plot points will convene and coincide and resolve so perfectly that it is just, it feels like ChatGPT wrote this. So it's so stupid. And the villain is laughable. Villain, his acting is horrible. He laughs like a maniac, like some Joker character. It's just, the ending is just frustrating. I think they will make even more movies. I think Christopher McQuarrie's filmmaking has gone way down. The story, cinematography, everything is a big letdown. Overall, I will give this movie a 6 out of 10. More than that, I think overall the movie is just too bad and too long also. Close to 3 hours, almost 2 hours, 45 or 50 minutes is too long. Too long. But at least the pacing in between is fine, but sometimes it just scrolls down to a stop. So the movie is just way too long. So yeah, so that is my review for Tom Cruise's latest Mission Impossible, The Final Reckoning. So let me know what you guys thought in the comments down below. Comment your favorite Mission Impossible movie.